Started out alive, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing lost to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sippin' Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand vibes, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling, rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Tracking crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. Flip script is how we play a game. From start to next time, chasing fame. With the year behind me, changing scenes. So through the internet, living out the dream. Got my acoustic strong, curing and chill. Far cracking jokes, go fuck the thrill. In the land of Kiwis, we ride the waves. Our road streams phone, no better days. It's a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme.
Hello, the internet. It is Monday, the 4th of May, 2026, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to the stream. Yes, there are some strange things going on. I regenerated my token straight away when I saw that failed, and then it failed again. Can someone just test it and we'll verify that it's working? Yo, Drumzilla, how you doing, man? Drumzilla over on Kick. Drumzilla, I gotta tell you, man, I don't want to be the one to do this because I know that you...
What a beautiful group of people you are. You are good.
Working.
I wish I looked like you.
Now it's working. Drumzilla, we are using another new platform in the wake of DLive's demise. DLive is completely gone. There is a new platform that's come out of the dust, and it's very, very interesting. It's called Valora. I've got a little link right here that I've just posted in the YouTube chat. I'm going to grab it out of here, and I'm going to give it to you in the Kick chat, because I do want you to come over and at least sign up to Valora, because it is a very interesting platform, and it's new, and at least the very least you should do is grab your handle Drumzilla over there. So hit that referral link. Not sure what the referral link actually does, but it's a good way of tracking things. May the foreskin be with you. And sign up so at least you can nab your Drumzilla handle, and then you can look at it another time. But if you don't grab it, someone else may grab it. That's the thing. Yo, Jason, how you doing, man? Light speed test starts on the 7th, but you will know that. Yes, I do know that. I'm aware of that. The main thing, Drumzilla, for your sake, the main thing Valora seems to be doing, Valora.tv, extremely fast. It's called latency. It's the, well, you know what latency is. You're a musician. It's the time that I speak to when someone sees it. It's almost, there's almost no time. It's almost in real time. That's phenomenal, and it makes a huge difference to a live streamer. Also, there are a whole bunch of alerts that we've got set up over on Valora. You trigger them once you've earned channel points, and you earn channel points. There's no dollar value to these. They're just channel points, but you earn them by communicating in the chat, and it's per channel. So you can earn channel points on Gives a Minute. And there's a redemption right there. Ansim Gaming just redeemed Trumpet for 1 channel point. That's a confirmation of something I've done correct. There are other alerts that are no longer going to be on Beams, on Kick. I'm going to remove them off Kick, and they're all going to be here on Valora. So if you want to trigger the Trump alerts and slow clapping and all kinds of humor, it's all over there on valora.tv, and you can activate them by channel points. It seems to be working. There are some issues. It's a new website. It's a new platform. It's relatively new, but there are some teething issues, and it's being worked on. There is a really interesting angle here called the Council, and the Council is a selection of creators and viewers that are working in the back end to make sure the website is as best as it can be. And I'm super stoked to be involved in that. I'm a member of that council, and things that get brought up will get brought up. It's not like the old days with Tidy, just one person saying, I'll work on that, and then never doing anything. No, we are wanting to do this. It's a volunteer position. We're not being paid. We're in this to make the platform better. So I'm not endorsed by Valora. I'm just here streaming, and yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing. The latency is amazing. Of course, there are teething issues. As you'd expect in any platform, come on over to thevalorous.tv and sign up. To change topic and to change angle here, today's going to be a bit of a detailed one, I suppose, a little bit heavy. We are going to look into pancreatic cancer. Now, recently, less than a month ago now, Lino, a friend of mine, a chef, head chef that I used to work under in Adelaide for many years, a very loved man, he did pass away from pancreatic cancer. And from speaking with his sister and his wife, it was very quick that it came on, in the sense that Lino, and by the way, Lino is just a coincidence, right? The Lino on DLive, just a unusual coincidence, same word, same name, nothing related to DLive, so don't even consider that. But he went in to get a checkup for something unrelated, and while he was at the doctor, they said, we should just do this as well, a little check for this, blah, blah, blah. The result came back, you've got pancreatic cancer. He was gone within 9 months. And so this shit scares the crap out of me, to be completely fair. And I realize I don't know anything about pancreatic cancer. And so this stream I'm going to dedicate to just exploring, or at least the first half of the stream, we're going to explore what it is through the YouTube videos, the World Health Organization, all the different... We're going to explore what it is. And then, most critically, we're going to look at what can you do to get in early, right? How do you know if you've got it? What are the symptoms? Are there signs? What can I do to not be Lino? I don't want to go to the doctor for something unrelated and then, oh, we'll do a little check. And by the way, you've got 9 months to live. That's not fun, right? And rest in peace, Lino, and props to him and his family. Great guy. Horrible loss to Adelaide and the community. And I mean, yeah, you just search him up. Well, his last name's difficult, Anachichario. It's a very difficult last name, but if you search him up, you'll find head chef, the Strand Cafe restaurant. He was an absolute legend. Search him up on my channel. Is there a Valora app? Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a Valora app in the App Store. Yeah, it's all good. Go grab it. Drumzilla, sure is. Signed up by then, doesn't accept my password. I'll get it sorted. Interesting. Scott Fullwood the other day to Jack the Dancer. Not sure if you knew him. He was at my 50th. It was 44. Scott Full. Well, I know that name, dude. Yeah, Scott Fullwood. So yeah, apologies if this is going to be a downer, a bit of a bummer stream. This is just what it is, right? Like we can learn here, and education. It's not always preventative, but at least you know, if you know what to look for, and you're competent, there may be a way to, and by the way, I'm not saying I've got any symptoms. I'm not saying that, but I just want to know. I want to do this for my own self and also for the learn. That Lino, dang, yeah. Lovely guy, so sad, fuck cancer. Dude, Lino, yeah, like I hadn't seen him for, I think I saw him, well, not the last time I was in Adelaide with you, James, but the time before that with you. When was the time you gave me a van to, you loaned me a van or something? I drove a van down to Port Adelaide or something. I can't remember what I was, one of your work vans or something. I can't remember what I was doing with that, but that's when I went and saw Lino he worked, after the Strand, he worked in Caruso's, which was next door. He worked upstairs there and I didn't even see, no, I did see him. And then, no, there was a time after that when I didn't see him. I saw his daughter and yeah, but anyway, we need to talk about this stuff. It's everywhere now. Yeah. That was a few years ago. Yeah. Yeah, look, I've already done a tribute stream to Lino and his funeral's been and gone and we've all paid our respects. I do have videos that are coming on my channel, some funny games and stuff that we played at the Strand together. This stream is, the only link to Lino on this stream is that he was the reason that I decided to look into pancreatic cancer because he got it and passed within 9 months. So that's a thank you in a sense to Lino, but I like learning about stuff. Like there's been a lot of it lately, a lot of time I've spent kind of educating myself and getting informed on certain things and, you know, like what you do with the knowledge is up to you, but at least now you have the knowledge. I feel like I've got a decent amount of knowledge of a variety of topics. In the last 7 months, 8 months of my life, there's been actually longer than that now, almost a year, but I've got this newfound, hey man, I don't know anything about that. I'm going to spend some time and I'm going to learn about it so that when someone else asks me about it or when it pops up again, I can say, oh, I know about that. That's why I'm doing it. In other exciting news, I just put a homebrew down. So that's, oh no, not down. I just bottled a homebrew. It's already been down. It's in the bottles. So from here out, from the 4th of May, 4th of June, that brew will be ready to be drunk. And fingers crossed it's as good as, the last one was good, not great, but hopefully it's a good one. And back to work tomorrow. And then there was something else that's coming up. What is it? Some testing. Yeah. Some high. We've already got low latency here on Velora, but there is Beamstream 2.0 FTL, faster than light. That's coming out on the 7th. The 7th, faster than light on Beamstream. I'm in the beta testing of that. That should be interesting. Because don't forget, I'm streaming from OBS into a service, beamstream.gg. Beamstream.gg sends my stream out to all these multiple platforms, including Velora. So to go from here to there and have almost zero latency, once FTL's in place and then something else that's coming to Velora, it's going to make it even faster. It's going to virtually be no, oh man, I was going to say resistance. It's going to basically be no latency. The path of zero latency. It's going to be incredible. So amazing to stream like that. Because when I speak, I know I can look in the chat and you're actually hearing it when I say it. Not you, Drumzilla, because you're on Kick where the latency is up the wazoo. But if you're on Velora, you're seeing it when I'm saying it virtually. I love that about Velora. So I do want to get myself a coffee so I can chill. I want to chill, kick back. Everything's so clean in here. I vacuumed and I cleaned and I've got fresh clothes on. Actually, this shirt's not clean, but it's clean enough. I don't often wear a, you can't even see because it's so black. This is a, what do they even call these? What do they call these shirts? I know it's like a work shirt. I don't even know where I got this Adobe shirt. I don't work for Adobe. Elsa, how you doing, man? Can I find the Velora app? You're on Android, aren't you? A polo shirt. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, polo shirt. Old man shirt. Demi. How you doing, Demi? I don't wear these often, but this just came up in my t-shirt stack, and I've got to wear it. It's coming up in the top, and I've got to take it off. I don't know where I got this. I feel like is that a Nike swoosh? Would this be it's not a skateboarding thing. Why would I have this? I genuinely do not know where I got this from. You're on Android. Does anybody in Valora know if the Valora app is in the Google Play Store or just the iOS Apple App Store? I don't know about the Android stuff. It's in the Play Store on Android for phone. I'm on it. Oh, there it is. Dougski's using it. By the way, check this out, Drumzilla. Check this out. Okay, Doug, whoever wants to do this, whoever's watching on Valora, check this out. This is for Drumzilla over on Kick. I'm going to say a number between 1 and 9. When I say the number, on Valora, you enter the number and press enter, so we'll get an idea of just the latency here. And you can do it on Kick too if you want, but just out of curiosity, I haven't said the number yet, Hellbent. It's between 1 and 9. The number is 6. Bam! Did you see that? Holy crikey! That is quick, man. Like I said, the number is 6, and there it was. That's insane. And then there's Kick as well. Yeah. I win, Elfsar. Who said the number before, Dougski? That is fast. It is fast. And look, this makes it more enjoyable for the viewer. It makes it way more enjoyable for the streamer because I actually feel like there's an interaction going on here. Streaming with latency, it's kind of like uploading a video in a weird way. Not really. A video, you get a comment in the chat. Thank you for the slow clap. I feel like that's a warranted slow clap. That wasn't by the way, new alerts. Just think this way. I feel like every time I go live, there'll be new alerts for you. I feel like every time I go live, I'll have a new alert. So just go to the bottom, click the little
Puerto Rico.
Go to the bottom and scroll down, and you'll see the new ones. Valora TV is available for iOS and Android. Thank you, Ansim Gaming. Thank you. You said enter the number. I did say that, didn't I? So I'm going to go and grab a coffee, and then we're going to come back in. We got these videos lined up. Pancreatic cancer from Nucleus Health. We got this one here, the deadliest cancer. This is from Institute of Human...
Those Italians, I love the Italians.
Love the Italians. This is from the Institute of Human Anatomy even. And then these are the most critical ones. Cleveland Clinic, 6 warning signs of pancreatic cancer. And then there's a detailed video here. It's 28 minutes long. My early signs of pancreatic cancer. I feel like that's going to be incredibly valuable to watch. So if you want to learn about it with me, stick around. I'll go grab myself a coffee and I'll come back very briefly. I'll leave you with a surfing clip from Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I didn't surf yesterday. This is from Saturday. All right. Good surfing out there on Saturday. I see Dougski final for the World Surfing League at the Gold Coast is on as we speak. Women's on now, men's in 20. I hope they're getting better waves than we've got right now. It's horrible out there. I didn't get a chance to go surfing. I was too busy with other things today. But even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have because it's just heinous out there. But you know what? We've had some good weather and some good waves. What was that noise? Don't worry about it. It's just this house settling in the wind. Got myself a coffee, which is going to be too hot to drink, so I'll just leave it there for a second. And we'll move in on Smoko at the moment. Back to work in a minute. Thanks, Hellbent. Oh, Hellbent's here as well. Doing good, Doug. Oh, no, I saw Hellbent. I saw all of you. And I know that there were two. Netskis claimed first to the channel, to the stream, and then Hellbent claimed second, but the alerts were not working, unfortunately. You know what I'll do each time I begin my stream? For the next couple of... Well, not tomorrow, I'm working, but for the next few times, I'll just refresh. I'll regenerate that token each time, just for the shits and giggles. It can't hurt, right?
What a beautiful group of people you are. You are good. I wish I looked like you.
What a beautiful group of people you are. You're all beautiful. Oh, and also, Jake, thank you for the raid before. I saw that when I was coming back in with my coffee. The raid skins. Thank you so much. And Drumzilla's here. Boom! Hell yeah, man. I see that. That's rad, dude. So yeah, now you've got your handle, all swish. And yeah, take a little look around the site and don't forget we're all...
Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang!
This is
Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang! Gang bang!
We're all new here at this particular juncture. So, we're all on the same level, the level playing field.
I like this guy.
Oh, thank you. I like this guy, 3 inches. And the other beautiful thing, if you didn't catch it now, Drumzilla, James, you can trigger alerts simultaneously. That's
unwavering.
That's the lightning strike that almost killed me. The alerts trigger at the same time. So you can put an alert over an alert. So you could do I
look like some madman. Yeah, I love it.
Oh my god, look, yep. This is very...
I'm going to visit all 6 levels of the mine.
Awesome.
Explore each of them.
Amazing week. I hope you guys
Of course.
find a little bit more relevance.
Of course, you would want to do that. You know, you'd want to express a little bit of restraint just to make certain that we have the enjoyment of the alerts, not that we all just throw them all in at the one time, just for the shits and gives. Need mods gives. I don't have any mods yet on Valora. I haven't modded anybody. If you're offering, I'll mod you up, Elfsar. Thank you for offering. Thank you for mentioning it. You didn't offer, but just thank you in advance. Jake said, sorry. That's all right. That's okay. That's okay. I get it. I don't think we need mods yet, but if anyone wants that option, that's a different Sanaga. Different Sanaga? Oh my goodness. Don't
do that again.
Clip that. I just combined the word scenario and saga to get Sanaga. Holy moly. I just combined scenario and saga and got Sanaga.
I love you though. Thanks for watching and happy dreams, guys. Please. I like this guy.
Thank you. Yeah, that's rad. I mean, we got to get this dictionary going. That's the first entry in the Gives dictionary. Sanaga. Combination of saga and scenario. Nice one. All right. I can mod. Did it for Coin Captain back in the day. All right, Elsa.
We see you. Gives it a minute.
We see
you.
Thank you. We see you, Valora.tv. Let's take a look at the Valoran skins. Before we get into the pancreatic cancer, here is Valora. Look at that beautiful quality too. Absolute incredible quality on Valora. Doug's got a split. No worries, Doug. Enjoy. Shunt on, shunt off. How do you do a mod then? How do you do a mod? Watch me do a mod, folks, in all of its glory. I guess we go to create a dashboard. Manage team? No, create a dashboard. It'd be under community. Community, here we go. This is what it looks like from a streamer's point of view. Same place as the VIP badges. Yeah, which we haven't got any yet, have we? Oh, we got these subscriber badges, but not channel-wide badges. Yeah, rad. Roles, loading channel roles, moderator, username. All right, Elfsar. Now, I don't expect you to do anything. Well, did that just happen? Expires. We'll just let it roll, huh? Oh, there you go. Rad. Pretty easy, huh? Test. Elfsar, what's test? You're testing chat? Flosky, how you doing, Flosky? It might also help to up the point requirements to use alerts, like 100 points. Or do you guys think that would be advisable? I personally like that it's the most, like, it's basically when you trigger an alert, you're basically doing it. There's no cost to you, and arguably you're never going to run out of channel points. If you guys think that some of them should be worth more than the others for whatever reason, I'm down to explore that angel. Oh, you're seeing if a mod badge shows up. Oh, true, yeah. Is that something I've got to do? I want to give you. There should be a badge. A badge. That'll work itself out, I would think. Yeah. He didn't mod you. I did. No, he's there. Elsar's moderated. And Drumzilla, you might find at this particular juncture, you can't trigger alerts because you only just joined. So once you've been in the chat commenting for 5-10 minutes, if you Command R or refresh you're on Android, whatever, however you refresh the app, then you should have channel points available to start using. The longer the alert is, the more it should cost, in my opinion. That's actually a good idea. But there is a maximum length of alerts of 15 seconds. 15 seconds is the maximum there. But that's an interesting idea, an interesting angel. I just love the quality of Valora, man. Like, it just looks so rad. Just looking at it, like this simple background blur, larger. It just, and it's coincidental, but the coloring of the Valora logo and the branding color, the color scheme. I'm just saying it just matches my lighting, right? No shit. Hexy Mofo, Hex Your Life Up is here on Valora? Yo, Hexy Mofo, how you doing, dude? I got a little confession. I bought a little Hex last night. No, Sunday night. Drumzilla, hang on. Are these alerts coming in late? You just followed as well, Drumzilla? Hell yeah. I'll take them. I'll take them late, I'll take them early. Hexy Mofo, that's amazing to see you, dude. Maybe 100 points per second. Wow. Only just push the button. So you can chat without following. That's pretty interesting. Okay. And by the way, that alert, the dun 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 dun, that's a throwback to the DLive follow alert. Oh, that's a good coffee. Yeah, I made sure because I don't know if you knew, Drumzilla, DLive is completely gone. Like it's done. It's off. It's 404. It's done. So we now have the option to use the old alerts on a new platform. Gibbs, did you not save? Am I not mod yet? Dude, no, you're modded, man. Unless I didn't hit a button. Create a dashboard. Yeah, there he is, Hexy Mofo. Is this your first foray into Valora, Hexy Mofo? Welcome, man. Are we going to see Discourse Syndicate over here live streaming and Richard Hart? By the way, speaking of Richard Hart, I've been using, dude, Hexy, I don't know how long you've been here, but once you accumulate channel points, I've added Richard Hart quotes that you can trigger for one channel point. The most recent ones. You just found me. Thank you, man. Monetization, community analytics. What are we looking for? Community. I'm pretty certain I modded you, dude. Yeah, moderator right there. Elsa. Unless there's two of you guys. Refresh your trousers. Now chat is followers only. Is it? Is the chat followers only? Okay.
If a bunch of dum-dums not in our community joined from some other place and just like spamming up our chat.
Oh, you did that. You made it just thank you, man. Followers only chat. Do you think that's wise at this point though? The whole Valora is very small. Well, actually, let's find out today how many people are on Valora streaming. Can revert back. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to suggestions, but let's just take a quick look at the size of the site before we decide making it followers only. So if we go live now, go browse. I like this feature, the browse feature. 17 people live. 17 people alive. This is early days, folks. Get in here, get established, get familiar. You're at the grassroots of Valora.tv. 17 streamers are live right now. I'm live with 9 viewers. This person, Hot Beats TV. This is always live though. This has got 6 viewers. This is just a feed. Run Until You Fly. This is the partner of Jim. Oh, it's gone. Sorry, Corey's partner. Wow, that just changed. Clairvoyant, live with 2 viewers. Red Bearded Joe, live with 2 viewers. Fanatic Gaming. So my point is, early days, man. This is the time. When was the best time to buy Bitcoin? When no one was using it. When is the best time to go to Valora.tv and sign up? When no one's using it. Right now could be your time. It's new even to us. Yeah, fully. At one point we hit 35 live. 35 live, that's rad. Yeah. And I don't know if you have any connection with the Discourse Syndicate crew. Maybe they want to come over and start doing their Friday night effing hangouts with the captain over here on Valora. That'd be cool. Now, with all that said, let's move into the guts of the stream today. It's going to get a little heavy. It's going to get a little medical. I want to learn about pancreatic cancer because we are all getting older. The moment you are born, you begin to die. Think about that. That's not negative. That's just the fact. You're born, you're already beginning to die. You come out of that womb and you enter the world, and from there on, there is a period of time that's called life up until you die. When that end point is, no one knows. The part in the middle is the fun part. That's life. Pancreatic cancer can change all that, so you should know a little about it. I don't know anything about it, so let's change all that and let's learn. Here is the first video I want to watch. We'll stop this as it goes. Pancreatic cancer. I guess this is just an overview of what it is. Is there no volume on this? Could just be the intro. Sample use only? Okay.
Pancreatic cancer is a disease that begins in one of your digestive organs, the pancreas. It is located just behind the stomach. Your pancreas is made up of a head, body, and tail. It contains 2 main cell types. One type, called exocrine cells.
Okay, so first of all, did not know this. It's in your digestive system. So if you have poor digestion, is that a sign of pancreatic cancer? My belly gurgles. I drank off homebrew and it was gurgling all over the shop. Is that a sign? Weird Al has a song about pancreas. Does he now, Flowskis? You're also beginning to live. Yeah, true. To live is to die. Harsh.
Produce digestive enzymes that are secreted into tubes called ducts. The enzymes, traveling through ducts, eventually empty into your small intestine, where they aid in digestion. The other type of pancreatic cell is called an endocrine cell. Endocrine cells are clustered into groups known as the islets of Langerhans.
The what? The Islet of Longerhans. Now there's a band name if I've ever heard of it. The Islet of Longerhans. Shouldn't be laughing at that.
Are clustered into groups known as the islets of Langerhans.
Wow.
These cells produce the hormones insulin and glucagon, which are released into the bloodstream to help control your blood sugar level.
I have to figure this out. I just dropped out. I'm on some low-end gear right now. Hexy, if you're having difficulty watching, there is the option to choose Legacy Playback, and that seems to fix it for everybody. Valora is quite well known now for being super low latency, but if it's not working for you, for whatever the reason, could be your tech, could be your internet, whatever, you can choose Legacy, and that does seem to fix it.
Pancreatic cancer starts as mutations of pancreatic cells, causing them to grow very quickly and uncontrollably.
It's very glitchy on your end too, Drumzilla. I have 50 gigabits per second down. No, you don't. You have 50 megabits per second down. 50 gigabits, that's right. At this point, if you're using the app on an Android, I don't know what to say because I don't use that. I'm watching the stream on my desktop in the Brave browser, which is Chrome, and I'm not seeing any issues. Yeah, megabits per second, exactly. All editor command that in like raid title category, other mods available to not. Okay.
Causing them.
Hang on. This is how it works, how it's formed.
Pancreatic cancer starts as mutations of pancreatic cells, causing them to grow very quickly and uncontrollably. The mutated cells will often clump together to form tumors, which can interfere with the normal pancreas function.
Okay.
Like this tumor, most pancreatic cancers form in the ducts and are called adenocarcinomas or exocrine tumors. Endocrine tumors, which develop from islets of Langerhans, are much less common. Your doctor will recommend treatment based on the type of cell involved, location, and stage of your cancer. Treatment may include surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, or a combination of treatments.
Good old AI voice. You can't get away from them now. Do you know what? Given the nature of what we're learning about, I've managed to just not even think about that it's AI. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Like I'm not even considering that this is not a real person because the information is just blowing me away. The way that she just spoke about your doctor will prescribe. They skipped over the whole part about if you think you have it, these are the signs. So they went straight into this is what it is and this is when you've got it. What about the part where you're not sure if you've got it?
There are 3 surgical options to treat pancreatic cancer. During a Whipple procedure, also called a pancreatoduodenectomy, your surgeon will remove the head of your pancreas, your gallbladder, and portions of your common bile duct, small intestine, and stomach. The remaining structures will be arranged in such a way to allow continued digestion.
That's the hook. It's at the end of the video, retention time. Yeah, true. Well, it's working for me. So if you have pancreatic cancer, your digestive system no longer functions correctly. And that's why, I guess in the case of Lino, he died pretty quickly because you can't get the nutrients into your system. You can't eat basically, right? I guess you'd be fed through a tube. If that's what I'm understanding. And I'm not a doctor, but...
In a total pancreatectomy, your surgeon will remove your entire pancreas, common bile duct, gallbladder, spleen, and surrounding lymph nodes, as well as portions of your stomach and small intestine.
Dang.
During a distal pancreatectomy, your surgeon will remove the body and tail of the pancreas, as well as your spleen. Radiation or radiotherapy uses high-energy rays to kill cancer cells in the treated area only. If the radiation originates from a machine outside your body, the treatment is called external beam radiation therapy. Radiation therapy placed inside your body in the form of radioactive pellets is called brachytherapy or internal radiation therapy.
Sample use only. Yeah, what does that even mean? Sample. We're all sampling it. This is frightening, right? I often have digestive issues like, like gurgling, and I'm talking myself into it. I don't have it.
Chemotherapy uses drugs to stop the progression of cancer by either killing...
So before we get into the concerns of it, does anybody else in the chat have like the gurgles? Like if I haven't eaten, let's say, so today's a good example. I went for an 11K walk this morning. Before I went, I had 4 Weet-Bix and a cup of tea. That's it. When I got back up until about 1:30, I didn't eat anything. The walk took place between 7:30 and 9:30, so 2 hours. After that, I didn't eat anything, nothing. I drank a little water, and I had an electrolyte tablet, like a dissolvable electrolyte thing, up until about 1:30 when I had lunch. As soon as I ate lunch, my gurgling was cranking like blah, 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 blah. Now that's normal, right? Everybody has that. Yet when I watch something like this, I think, is that normal? If you just put things in your digestive system, shouldn't they just digest? Why, like all these extra noises and pops and gurgles and shit? That's normal. Everyone has that. It's just gas. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned, I guess.
The cells or preventing further growth. Systemic chemotherapy is taken by mouth or an injection, allowing the drugs to travel through the bloodstream to reach cancer cells throughout the body. Regional chemotherapy involves the injection of the drug into the arteries surrounding the tumor, allowing immediate delivery to the cancer cells.
Wow.
Targeted therapies focus on specific abnormalities of cancer cells. One targeted therapy, erlotinib, is thought to stop tumor growth.
You're dieting right now, are you, Drumzilla? Rad, dude. How's it going? Your stomach's been going nuts. Yeah. That's a good sign, though. When you're not feeding your stomach and it's gurgling, it means it's eating the fats, right? Or it's converting the fats.
By blocking chemical signals that initiate cell growth and division.
Okay, so that's the basic rundown of what it is. Now here is a bit more of a regular person explaining why is this so deadly. Let's take a look.
Pancreatic cancer is one of the most scary cancers that a person can be diagnosed with, and that's because it has one of the worst survival rates of any cancer. With its
Redox Bear. Hey, do it, man, on YouTube. I'm sorry to hear about your diagnosis. Okay, I haven't been diagnosed. Did the stream end? Nope. Not that I'm aware of. Got to go to bed. Ansim, no worries. Go to sleep. Have a good slumber. Get those Z's. I'm still alive, man. No, the stream didn't end. Not at my end. Not that I can see. It looks fine at my end. My end looks fine.
Overall 5 year.
Pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is one of the most scary cancers that a person can be diagnosed with, and that's because it has one of the worst survival rates of any cancer, with its overall 5-year survival rate being only 12 to 13%. So why is pancreatic cancer so deadly?
12 to 13%. Redox, Steve Jobs was a great man. Is this what killed Steve Jobs? I did not know that. It's all good at Hellbent for that. Thank you, man. Did Steve Jobs die from... Did he die from pancreatic cancer? Let me find out. Peace and love. What did Steve Jobs die of? What did Steve Jobs die of? Fast answer. Complications from a rare form of pancreatic cancer. He died from pancreatic neuroendocrine tumor. Yeah, right. It sounds like they're seeing real results from ivermectin and fenbendazole for cancer. Is that right? Okay, let's continue to learn.
Well, today we're going to answer that question by taking a look at a real pancreas, discussing what the pancreas is supposed to do when it does.
Wait, is that a real human body? Why is it all yellow?
Doesn't have cancer, then talk about where and how the cancer forms, what treatment options are available, and again, why those treatment options often fail. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jonathan Benyon with the Institute of Human Anatomy.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at his name. Jonathan Benyon. That's a weird version of my name. His last name is a weirder version of my first name. Benyon. Benyon.
Fail. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jonathan Benyon with the Institute of Human...
Benyon. I don't like that. Get a better real last name.
Those treatment options often fail. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jonathan Benyon with the Institute of Human Anatomy.
Benyon. I've never seen that. That's a weird version. That's a weird amalgamate. An amalgamation of my name.
And yes, we are about to get into some anatomical awesomeness, as well as some pathological rudeness of this cancer. So, let's do this.
At least he's presenting it in an, informal manner.
So let's start by taking a look at the pancreas. The pancreas is located in the abdominal cavity posterior to or behind the stomach. And so if we take a look at this cadaver dissection, and I reflect part of the liver, and then...
So this is a real, he said cadaver, right? A dead, like a cadaver is usually related to crime. Elsa, Welsh origin, serving as an anglicised patronymic form of an onion or son of onion. Okay. He looks very happy about the pancreas as he does, doesn't he? His last name should be what we call your followers, the givers. What was his first name? I didn't even remember what his first name was. What was his first name again? Jonathan Givers. Jonathan Givers? Interesting. He's got lovely teeth. Deeply rooted in Wales, the name spread significantly during the 19th, 20th centuries as many Welsh families migrated to North America. While you're there doing that name, Elfsar, can you do Benon? Just see if that comes up, because I don't think it does.
Stomach. And so if we take a look at this cadaver dissection, and I reflect part of the liver, and then reflect the stomach out of the way, you can see this awesome organ, the pancreas.
Right there.
Now, this part of the pancreas is called the head. Then we have the body all the way down to the tapering tail here. Now, because we're kind of zoomed in here, let me show you where it would be on Jeffrey. The head would span from about L1, L2, and then the body and the tail would swoop over to the left side.
Okay. Also,
notice its relationship with this part of the small intestine that you can see me tracing with my finger here. It's wrapping around the head of the pancreas. In this part of the...
This is pretty cool. Like, to be fair, like I don't know anything about the human anatomy, but when you see someone doing it this detailed and like explaining where it is and then showing it on the body, this is pretty rad. The surname Benon has a multiple possible origins depending on your family's history, ranging from Welsh patronymic and Scottish place names to roots in Old French or Hebrew. Well, mine's spelt just with one N in the middle, and my mum made it up. Nothing to do with that, but it's interesting. It's interesting. People who follow should be Benyons. Benyons. Well, I don't use my real name except for that. You guys know what it is. I mean, my channel gives a minute. I didn't want to call my channel Ben and Kirpsch. That's a lame channel name. But yeah, my mum named me Benon. She liked Ben and Benjamin, but when I was born, many people were calling their children Ben or Benjamin in the same hospital that I was born in, and Mum didn't want to add to this ever increasing number of people using that name. Now, the story she told me when I was younger was that her best friend Laurel had just given birth to a boy that they named Jason. And so Mum took the O and the N off Jason, and chucked it on Ben and got Benon. Now, that's the story she told me, but as we've gotten older and many years have gone on, she denies that's where it came from. She denies it vehemently, But she did tell me that. Why would I make that up? But she says, no, that's not where it came from. I just made it up. I said, don't lie about that. It's my name. You did that. And now don't say you didn't do it, because you did do it. The name Benon has multiple potential origins, most likely common to the Hebrew roots of a variation of Benoni, meaning son of my sorrow, or son of my strength. They're two opposite things though, son of my sorrow, son of my strength. Or as a French surname derived from the Latin Benedictus, which is blessed. I don't think I'm blessed. I think I'm cursed more than anything. I'll take the son of my sorrow and I'm accursed.
The small intestine is called the duodenum. Now, sometimes people will pronounce it duodenum, and I actually used to purposely pronounce it as duodenum because I had a coworker who hated that pronunciation. So of course I had to pronounce it like that as much as possible. But whatever you like, duodenum or duodenum, you can have a debate about it in the comments. But coming back to the importance of the pancreas is a cool little multitasker because it functions as an endocrine gland as well as an exocrine gland.
What?
Endocrine means to secrete within, and endocrine glands secrete hormones into the bloodstream. And the pancreas is one of many endocrine glands. And there are certain cells
that guy had two heads
into the bloodstream. And the pancreas.
That guy's got two heads. Why aren't we talking about that? Why is there two heads? That's weird. That's not a very realistic diagram, I'm afraid. He should have a doctor check out those pink hands. Yeah, he should. Elfsar, the Benon family name comes from a place named by the Viking settlers who arrived in the shores of Scotland in the Middle Ages. The Benon name comes from someone having lived in the old barony of Biney in the parish of Uphall in the country of West Lothian. Wow. Interesting. It also comes from the southern suburbs of Sydney called Oyster Bay in the 1980s. Actually, I was born in 75. Hexy Mofo, my Valora stream is not working well, so listening on YouTube and chatting on Valora. No worries, man. Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Pancreas is one of many endocrine glands. And there are certain cells within the pancreas called alpha and beta cells that secrete insulin and glucagon into the blood.
We're the same age.
And this
I was born in 75, yeah, man. 75. August 29, 75. I turned 50 last year. That makes me 50. I turned 51 this year. Shit. Wow, that year's gone by quick, hasn't it?
Helps to regulate blood glucose levels. And if you're interested in more details about how that exactly works, you can check out our diabetes video that I'll link at the end of this one. But it is actually the exocrine portion of the pancreas that is important to our pancreatic cancer story.
Exocrine.
Exocrine means to secrete without. And there are various exocrine glands throughout the body. Sweat glands are an example of exocrine glands, and they would obviously secrete sweat onto the outside surface of the body. And as I've already mentioned, the pancreas functions as one of these exocrine glands. But you might be thinking, wait a minute, my pancreas doesn't secrete anything to the outside of my body.
Because it's inside.
But in a way, it actually does. The exocrine portion of the pancreas is made up of acinar cells that produce and secrete various enzymes that help with digestion. And these enzymes, mixed with pancreatic juices, get secreted into the duodenum through the pancreatic duct.
The duodenum is the small intestine, right? Yeah, bingo, right on. Looks like an eel.
Now here's the thing. Your digestive tract is a hollow tube. And like the outside surface of your body, the digestive tract is lined with epithelial tissue. And it is still not technically inside your body. Think about an endoscopy or a colonoscopy where they put the scope in through the mouth and go all the way down through the esophagus and into the stomach, or through the anus and go all the way through the large intestine. Those scopes and cameras are obviously pulled right back out when the clinician is done going where no man has gone before. And so again, the inside surface of your digestive tract is still considered separate from the true internal environment of your body. And because the pancreas is secreting into this area that is still not fully inside the body, it is considered an exocrine gland.
Okay, that's a little technical, right? It's still inside your gutses. Okay. You win on the technicality.
Now, I may have gone into a little bit too much detail explaining that, but again, the important point here is that the exocrine portion of the pancreas is what becomes a problem with pancreatic cancer. Now, even though today we're talking about something going wrong with the body, most of the time the body gets things right, as the human body has systems and physiological processes that are beautifully organized. But your career, that one's a little less organized. So if your job feels like it's operating without a functioning frontal lobe, or worse,
Wow. Look at this in the Kick chat. Kick Go Live app just dropped. Go outside and touch grass. 5 streamers win 100 subs each. If anyone wants to click that, you're on your own there. I don't know if I'd be clicking that. I'm not touching it.
Motivation's flatlining. It's time to bring in some outside help. And today's sponsor, Strawberry.me, acts like the
Strawberry.me.
But you might think, Jonathan, haven't you kind of already figured out your career? Well, anatomy
This is a career?
juggle.
Oh, this is still the ad.
One-on-one / amazing. Cancer most often arises.
Okay, here we go.
And now, let's get back to pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer most often arises from the exocrine cells of the pancreas, specifically the ductal cells that line the pancreatic ducts. And this most common type of pancreatic cancer, accounting for 85 to 90% of pancreatic cancers, is called ductal adenocarcinoma. Ductal referring to it originating in the cells of the ducts. Adeno means gland, as we have an exocrine gland here, and carcinoma referring to cancer. But like most cancers, once these cells mutate and become cancerous, they start to divide out of control.
Flosky, I don't think that can be a scam because it's using the actual kick.com domain. Yeah, true. I didn't even see that. I just saw the bounties in front of it. Bounties.kick.com. You can put a word in front of a .com. Winning subs. Well, you know what? I'm the streamer. I'm going to click that. Let me just pause. I'm going to click that and see.
If they continue to divide.
I said, I'm going to click that and I'll show you to you what it does. This is Kick. Click. What does it do? Touching grass is underrated. Kick Go Live app just dropped. Touch grass for 30 minutes. Scroll down for English. 5 times 100 gift. Oh, then you can gift them out. Okay, well, I'll take that. It wants you to go and do an IRL stream, I guess. I did see this announcement for their new app. I'm not signed in here, though. I'm on the wrong, I'm on my across the ocean Twitter machine. Let me do that again. Enter. It's not doing anything. So you got to comment, I guess. It's a Twitter thing. Okay, fair enough. Well, I clicked it. I didn't like it. I clicked it. It's safe if you want to click it yourself. And then you can go and do the thing. If you're using Kick, maybe you'll want to be involved in that. I've chosen Valora as my platform of choice. You can choose whatever you want. Let's get back to the pancreatic cancer.
Unchecked, they can metastasize, or in other words, spread to other organs and regions. And this takes us to our discussion of why pancreatic cancer is so deadly. At the beginning, I mentioned that the overall 5-year survival rate for pancreatic cancer was around 13%. But if you catch it early, where the cancer is still localized, meaning it is still contained within the pancreas, 5-year survival rate can be up to 44%. But if it has regional spread, meaning the cancer has spread from the pancreas to nearby structures or lymph nodes, 5-year survival rate is 16%.
Wow.
But if the cancer has spread to distant parts of the body, such as the lungs, liver, or bones, 5-year survival rate is 3%. Oof. So why are these survival rates so bad? Well, number one, pancreatic cancer is kind of a master of disguise. Early on, there are pretty much no symptoms. There might be some vague back pain or a little abdominal pain, but often people chalk those symptoms up to some other cause as it doesn't feel serious enough to go to the clinic or the hospital.
So back pain and stomach pain.
Up to some other cause as it doesn't feel...
Is that what he said? Back pain and stomach pain? I'm surprised Kick automatically injects links like that. Yeah, like maps.google. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Early on, there are pretty much no symptoms. There might be some vague back pain or a little abdominal pain, but often people chalk those symptoms up.
Well, hang on, back pain. Why would it be back pain? If it's inside your digestive system, wouldn't it be internal pain, not in your back? Why would you feel it in your back?
To some other cause as it doesn't feel serious enough to go to the clinic or the hospital. And so by the time other more serious or noticeable signs and symptoms
Such
arise,
as?
like jaundice,
Jaundice.
which is yellowing of the skin, and
Whoa. Is that because your organs aren't like processing stuff properly? You go yellow? Wow. Jaundice is a nice word, by the way. If I ever had a child, I'd consider naming him, if it was a girl, Jaundice. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it.
or noticeable signs and symptoms arise, like jaundice, which is yellowing of the skin. And in the case of pancreatic cancer, this yellowing of the skin usually starts because the tumor has now become large enough to block the bile ducts, so you get a backup of bile into the liver. And
so what's with the eye? The backup of bile into the liver turns you yellow. The jaundiced eye, and it goes into your eye as well. Holy shit. Look at that drawing. This drawing of the eye has got a highlight, it's like it's lit up with a light. They got a highlight in there. That's funny that they've gone to the trouble. It's a drawing. Why do you need to add the highlight of a phony light in the drawing? Hellbent, my lymphoma first presented as chest pain. Okay. Are you being treated right now then for lymphomatic cancer? Looks like the old Windows logo as a highlight. Kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah. It's just funny that the artist would go to that trouble of including hair. Hair is the lighting that we would have used if this was a real photo.
Become large enough to block the bile ducts, so you get a backup of bile into the liver. And at this point, it is often too late. Tumors from pancreatic cancer can often get to be 4 or 5 centimeters before you feel anything.
Whoa.
And again, by this time, the person is often in the later stages of the disease, and survival odds begin to tank.
4 centimeters.
Number 2,
4 centimeters is quite large, man. Holy shit.
Ties right into number 1, is that catching it early can be quite difficult. There is no universal screening or blood test for pancreatic cancer.
Uh-oh. There is no universal screening or blood test for pancreatic cancer. So you don't know you've got it until you've got it, and then they don't even know you've got it. This is worse than AIDS. Yet you don't see commercials on television knocking down children with bowling balls as 10-pin, all that stuff. This is gnarly, man. Hexy, when there are no pain receptors, pain can be shown using other pain mechanisms nearby. Ah, that's why you feel it in your back. Like kidney stones give you back pain by using back muscle. Okay. Receptors in your muscles. Okay. Hellbent, no, I had stage 4 lymphoma 15 years ago. Had to have stem cell transplant to go into remission. So you're good now. Stem cell, yeah, okay. What's going? Why do I hear? I can hear like a Doesn't matter. I can hear things. Been cancer-free for 14 years. Nice one, man.
Quite difficult. There is no universal screening or blood test for pancreatic cancer. Researchers are working on creating effective screening tests for early detection, but as of now, there's still nothing available that is clear-cut. And so currently, for individuals that don't have a high risk for developing pancreatic cancer, there's no recommended screening like there is for something like colon cancer or breast cancer.
Fuck. So a high propensity for it? I guess it's not in my family that I'm just getting worried here.
But we'll talk about risk factors and things that you can watch out for in just a second. Now, the third reason why pancreatic cancer is so deadly is that it tends to be very aggressive and resistant to treatment.
Whoa.
Pancreatic tumors, especially the most common type, ductal adenocarcinoma, grow quickly and invade surrounding organs and tissues. They also have a knack for resisting standard treatments like chemotherapy and radiation, because they often build this dense protective stroma around themselves, which is kind of like a protective tissue capsule that shields a tumor from drugs and the immune system. And so now that we've talked about the gloom and doom of pancreatic cancer, is there anything you can do about it? Well, yes. There are factors that put you at a higher risk of developing pancreatic cancer. And some of these factors you do have control over. First, we have smoking, which increases the risk of pancreatic cancer by up to 2 times.
Ooh.
Several studies also suggest that having a high body mass, lack of physical activity, and metabolic dysfunction such as type 2 diabetes increases the risk of pancreatic.
Okay, well, I'm none of those things. I don't smoke cigarettes. I'm not overweight. I have an active lifestyle. So I'm good with that, but that's interesting. Man, of all the who still smokes cigarettes? It's 2026. If you're smoking cigarettes in 2026, something's wrong, man. You know how gnarly that is for you. There's nothing good about smoking cigarettes. I can't believe people still smoke cigarettes. It's so bad for you. It's linked to everything nasty, hey? And it costs a fuck ton of money. And your clothes stink. You taste horrible. Yet people still smoke. Fuck that.
Several studies also suggest that having a high body mass, lack of physical activity, and metabolic dysfunction such as type 2 diabetes increases the risk of pancreatic cancer. And so trying to improve in these areas with lifestyle modification.
I've been smoking since age 16. I'm now 59. Dude, are you going to stop or are you just going to smoke till you drop? It's so bad for you, man. What? I mean... I don't know. I can't say anything. I don't know what it is. Smoking cigarettes is crazy. I mean, at that point, you're addicted, right? You can't not smoke cigarettes.
Such as diet and exercise.
Hang on. I missed that. So obviously a good diet.
Several studies also suggest that having a high body mass, lack of physical activity, and metabolic dysfunction such as type 2 diabetes increases the risk of pancreatic cancer. And so trying to improve in these areas with lifestyle modifications such as diet and exercise could provide a beneficial risk reduction for pancreatic cancer, as well as reduce your risk of many other conditions. Alcohol can also increase the risk of pancreatic cancer, but this is really only seen in heavy drinkers.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What a graphic this is. This is meant to illustrate heavy drinking. He can barely sit upright. That's... Okay, I shouldn't be laughing at that because there are people. That's Gibbs in the future? Hell no, dude. I've got my drinking well and truly under control. But what did he say? It's bad for you. I mean, I guess I have no moral ground to stand on here because I can't believe you'd smoke cigarettes as I sip from Jack and drink a homebrew. I know it's hypocritical. We know alcohol's bad for you. On a scale though, not as bad as injecting smoke into your lungs. Like, let me just be clear about this. If you're in the bush or in the woods and there's a fire, you go away from it, right? You don't go towards it. You don't go, I'll breathe all that smoke in. That's awesome. No, you're going to go where the air is fresh. You'll cover your nose up with a wet cloth or something to stop the smoke going in. But then you'll go to the store and get a 6-pack or whatever they are, 16-pack. Oh, that smoke's great. You're just putting smoke into your lungs, man. It's crazy. I'm being silly, but there are underlying facts that I'm speaking here. Might try to quit again, have circulation issues in my legs, have arterial bypass on both legs. Ooh. Now, I'm not sure if that's linked to the cigarettes, but man. Oh, there's a helicopter. I was like, I'm hearing something, man. There's a helicopter outside. Can you hear that? It's lucky I'm hearing things because otherwise I'd be going deaf, right? But I was like, what's going on in my Kansas? By the way, these are broken. How long have I had these for? Since 2019. And these Kansas are now all but, well, they're not broken. They're just, the padding is all gone. In fact, I feel that on my ears. They're so good though. These Sennheiser HD58X Jubilees, these were so good. You hear that? Yeah, cool. So I'm not going deaf. I mean, I'm not hearing things.
Reduction for pancreatic cancer, as well as reduce your risk of many other conditions. Alcohol can also increase the risk of pancreatic cancer, but this is really only seen in heavy drinkers that develop chronic pancreatitis due to the excessive alcohol consumption.
Okay.
Now, something that you can't control.
Okay, so excessive alcohol consumption is bad. No shit. I mean, I feel like we know that. I know that. That's why you get a hangover. Your body knows that. Your body says, what the hell are you doing, dude? That's too much. Don't do that again. Don't do that again, right? It tells you very clearly. So there's no surprises there. What's this other one though?
Risk of pancreatic cancer. But this is really only seen in heavy drinkers that develop chronic pancreatitis due to the excessive alcohol consumption. Now, something that you can't control is your family history and genetics.
Okay.
And having a close family member that has had pancreatic cancer does increase your risk. And there are some genes that have been identified that increase one's risk of developing pancreatic cancer. And so even
well, no one in my family's had it that I'm aware of. No one's died in my family from pancreatic cancer. I only drink 3 to 4 beers a day. Do you really? Okay. I don't. I only drink on the weekends. And even then I don't. I mean, my drinking would be one homebrew, one long necker homebrew, and then probably maybe 3 whiskeys, sometimes 4 if I'm watching a movie. What's bad about that in my mind? It's not the whiskey. Well, the alcohol is bad for you, but the worst thing about drinking whiskey is the Coke, right? The soda pop that I put it with. And arguably, I drink sometimes, not always. If I'm doing a Jack behind me and I'm going for the good bottle, I'll buy the full sugar Coke. But other than that, I'll get the no sugar Coke. So it's not the sugar, but it's all that other crap that they put in there, that aspartame, all that other flavors and crap. It's not good for you, man. In fact, I've been doing a little bit of soda water lately with whiskey. Just bubbled water, right? Water with gas. In my late 50s, Hexy, my mum was prescribed smoking cigarettes by a doctor. The choice was either take Valium for anxiety or smoke cigarettes. I saw ads from that era with doctors recommending... Dude, back in the 50s, right? Oh, in the late 50s. Yeah. I thought you said in her 50s. Right. In that era, they thought cigarettes were good for you. There was doctors prescribe... Like, right, yes. Eat cigarettes. Smoke cigarettes for health. It's a crime. I mean, it feels like it's a crime. I have my beers when I'm in the hot tub. I use hot tub to deal with my back pain. I know someone that does that. Soda water is good with whiskey. You get to taste it better. The whiskey opens itself up with water, even just a few drops of water in there. Soda water or water, yeah. Obviously, Diet Coke is good for me. It puts me on a diet, Flosky. I've heard people say that. Diet Coke.
Even though there is no universal screening test for pancreatic cancer that everyone should use, it is important for anyone that has had a close family member with pancreatic cancer to let their medical provider know, because the medical provider may consider having the patient do certain genetic testing, and just having this extra information
is
good for the medical provider, because the medical provider may have a higher level of suspicion and almost keep the patient on a shorter leash, so to speak, if the patient were to develop certain symptoms that they may not worry as much about with a patient that has a lower set of risk factors for pancreatic cancer. But let's come back to treatment. I did briefly mention that these pancreatic cancer tumors are often resistant to treatments like chemotherapy and radiation.
Little buggers.
And one of those reasons was because they would build a protective stroma around themselves. Now, this doesn't mean that they still wouldn't attempt to use things like chemo or radiation, but there's just certain characteristics about these tumors that make them resistant to these type of treatments. Plus, as I continue to be a little bit of a broken record here, the cancer has already often spread and invaded other vital structures.
So what I'm understanding is this thing just grows inside your body. There's no real indicator of why it happens. Once it starts happening, you're already fucked. And if you don't catch it close to the start, you're definitely fucked. What a horrible thing. Is this all because Adam ate the apple? Why do we have our own body trying to kill ourselves? Chemo tears your body up. Yeah.
But if for some reason it is caught early enough, and this is only about 15 to 20% of the time, surgery can potentially be curative. The most famous surgical procedure for pancreatic cancer is the Whipple procedure, also known as a pancreaticoduodenectomy, which,
right,
as that name implies, involves removing part of the pancreas and the duodenum. But the gallbladder and even part of the stomach get removed. So a purist of medical terminology may wonder why they didn't call it something like a gastro-pancreatico-choledodenectomy. Just food for thought there. But during my general surgery rotation, I got to be a part of this surgery.
It's probably because of all the chemicals in our food, plastics, signal radiation, you name it. That's where it comes from. But if that's where it came from, they would have been able to assess that This sounds like they don't know where it came from. By the way, that's a lovely image, isn't it? That looks like surgery, looks like fun, like live streaming.
This is a very complex surgical procedure. This is a very busy area to operate on with many important and delicate anatomical structures, and so it requires a skilled surgeon.
Why would they assess that if they can make money off of it? Oh, okay. So now you're entering into they're not going to tell you because they can benefit. Fuck, man. Yeah, I don't want to think of it like that. I don't want to think of the underlying reasons why, but because then you might as well just top yourself. It's all shit out there, isn't it? Here in America, that happens all the time. Yeah, I know that that's a thing, and it's a sad reality, isn't it? Yeah.
Like I said, it can potentially be curative for those cases where the pancreatic cancer was caught early enough and confined to the pancreas. And so hopefully you found the information provided in this video helpful.
Very helpful.
For anyone watching that has been affected by pancreatic cancer, our hearts go out to you. As this obviously can be a very serious cancer. And thank you all for watching.
What a legend. Let me give you guys this link to this channel because that was certainly helpful. The Institute of Human Anatomy. Very cool stuff. Most of you are on Valora, so I'll chuck it in the Valora chat because, I'm favoring the Valoran skins at this time in our lives. Valora is the place to be. I'll put it in the chat for you as soon as my chat loads here. Yeah, there it is. So the Anatomy of Human, the Institute of Human Anatomy. I'm just looking at the URL there, the Anatomy Lab. Okay, it's not quite what it sounded like or what it said it was. So at this stage, we're going to move on and we're going to look at some warning signs, 6 warning signs. He said that you might have back pain and something else. Stomach. I can't remember what it was. He just said it too. Anyway, I want to learn more about it, but I'm also thinking, should I go and get a check? Like, I'm clean right now. As far as I'm aware, like I've just had my last skin cancer cut off my back of my neck, and that's all done and dusted. My doctor's very happy with me at this stage. I am still on medication that I'm tapering off, and what is it now? May 4. So by the end of May, June, probably by the middle of June, I should be completely off that. And at that point, I'm going to go in and say to him, so I'm good now, but can we do the real check? Like, can I do the prostate cancer check and pancreatic cancer? Can we just, I don't have any symptoms, but my main symptom is I'm worried. So can we alleviate that? And that's what I'm going to try to do. Like at least come back from that with, well, man, you can either go and do this and that, or here's the options. You can go to the hospital and have this done and check that. I think I'll do that, right? I'm 50. I feel like there's no shame in preemptively going somewhere to get something done, even if there's no symptoms. But because you know what I did? You know what the exact similarity here, or the same comparison about, what is it now? Sometime last year, probably May, June, probably July or something. Probably July last year. Remember I took Govan in and had the timing belt redone. Timing belt. No, we watched a video here on the stream, and in the Mitsubishi Delica, if the timing belt fails, it's considered a catastrophic event, and it writes off the vehicle because everything else that the chain reaction from the timing belt going fucks up your engine entirely, and therefore it's a write-off. And I said to myself, I don't know when the last time the timing belt was changed on this vehicle. And I went back to the original or the previous owner and asked her, and she said, I don't know either. She had no information. She had no documents. So I preemptively went in and got my timing belt changed. Cost me $1,200 or something. Oh no. There were 2 quotes. There was one for $3,000, and then I ended up getting the quote for $1,200, and it came in under $1,000. They saved a little bit of cash. By the way, since that job's been done, leaking oil. That's a different story. But the point is, I got the timing belt changed preemptively, not because there were symptoms of it needing to be changed, but because if I didn't get it changed or I don't know when it was changed, there's a chance that it could have snapped and then the whole thing would have been over. So I preemptively did that. And by the way, when it came back, the mechanic came to me and said, have a look at this. And he brought the old one and he said, look at that on the belt. He said, that is the original Mitsubishi timing belt. He said, this vehicle has never had its timing belt changed because they don't put this factory timing belt you can't get them. So he said, and he said, by the way, it looked good, but he said, there's no telling what would have, that's a 25-year-old vehicle with one timing belt. So my point is, preemptively went in there and got it fixed, got it replaced. Can I do something similar with this timing belt? I'm 50. That's the timing belt. I need to get my timing belt checked out. Here we go. Warning signs of pancreatic cancer. That's muted. Muted. That's muted. Why is it muted? Oh, it's muted here. Unmute. This guy doesn't look happy.
You're tired. A lot. Your belly or back is constantly bothering you.
No.
And the weight is just falling off.
No.
But not because you want it to. These symptoms might be a reality for someone.
So constantly tired. Sometimes I'm tired, but I do work strange hours. My back is not sore and I'm not losing weight like that. I am losing weight because I'm not eating as much and I'm keeping my fitness up. But
who is living with pancreatic cancer. In 2019, pancreatic cancer was the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S. 45,886 people lost their lives to it.
That's a substantial amount, right?
The pancreas is a small hockey stick-shaped gland located behind the stomach, and it's essential for digestion and maintaining the body's blood sugar levels. Mutations can cause pancreatic cells to multiply out of control, which forms tumors. Pancreatic cancer is harder to detect and usually found at advanced stages. That's why it's important to know the signs and to talk to your healthcare provider as soon as...
Yeah, Netsky, how did he say to check? They said that there's no check for it. So when I go into my doctor, I'm going to say I'm aware that there is no check. However, my old boss, my old head chef, he went in for something unrelated and they said, by the way, we found pancreatic cancer. So can we just do... Can I go in for something else? Can I say I've got something and go in and, because that's literally how Lino got diagnosed. He said, I went in for something, I can't remember what it was. His wife told me, I can't remember what she said, but he went in there to get checked and he came back with, we found pancreatic cancer. So can we just go in for that check?
As you notice changes with your health. Here are 6 signs of pancreatic cancer to watch out for.
Okay.
1. Yellowing of the eyes and skin, also known as jaundice.
No, I don't have any of that, right? No yellowing of the eyes? None? By the way, I can't see shit when I do that. It's just all blurry. Looks like this lens is not focused correctly. No yellowing of the eyes, no skin jaundicing.
Often the first symptoms that people experience.
Whoa. That's quite extensive, right? Like is that real? Is that what it looks like? I mean, that's frightening. If you get that, then immediately go to the hospital. Hey, like that's disturbing.
And skin, also known as jaundice, is often the first symptom that people experience.
Jaundice.
It's caused by the buildup of bilirubin, a dark yellow-brown substance.
Sorry. The build-up of what? Bilirubin? Are you kidding me?
It's caused by the buildup of bilirubin.
Bilirubin, you fucker. Get that Billy guy out of here, man. Bilirubin? Why do they name this shit like that? Bilirubin. There's too much bilirubin to go around here.
First symptom that people experience. It's caused by the buildup of bilirubin, a dark yellow-brown substance made in the liver. When pancreatic cancer blocks the bile duct, it causes bilirubin to build up and keeps it from getting to the intestines.
Shouldn't be laughing at that.
Other indicators of jaundice include dark urine, poop that is greasy or light in color, and itchy skin.
Hang on. Dark urine. My urine's pretty clear, except after I've taken multivitamins, then it's quite yellow. Generally, and I'm also on these other tablets, but anyway, but that makes my urine smell kind of funky. Poop that is greasy or light in color. No grease or light. Mine are quite dark little buggers. Itchy skin? No, I had a little itch there the other day. That's all gone. No.
2. Pain in belly or back.
No.
Pancreatic tumors can become pretty large and can be quite painful. This type of cancer can also affect nerves around the pancreas.
Sometimes I do get, and if I'm having to Dr. Google myself here, sometimes I get extreme back pain. And I always put it down to muscular pain. And it's kind of like, when did it happen most? It happened most recently. I was over there and I reached for something. I reached over for something and I had to go. I did something. I had to, an unusual position and my back just went, no. And I was like, fuck. And I had to stop. I just held it and I was like, just ride the pain out. And I rode it out and then I went surfing. And as I was walking up to Crookies, I felt it happen again. I just stopped walking and stood there. It's muscular. I feel like there's a slight tear in a muscle, but that's not common. But when it happens, it is debilitating. It makes me stop what I'm doing. There was one time it happened in the garage and it was the worst time. Like that time here and walking up to Crookies, probably the pain level was like a 3 out of 10. But that one time in the garage, this was a couple of years ago, that pain was like an 8 out of 10. I was like, what is going on here? I'm older. That's what's going on. So I don't think I have it related to anything internal though, but that's worth noting and remembering at least.
And can be quite painful. This type of cancer can also affect nerves around the pancreas and cause back pain. 3. Unintended weight loss.
Unintended weight loss.
Weight loss is another common symptom, and people with pancreatic cancer will often have little to no appetite.
I genuinely don't have an appetite these days. Yeah, I'm not eating as much and I'm not feeling like eating as much. I put that down to other events, but I don't think, I mean, it's worth noting that my appetite has quite substantially subsided. I cannot load your channel on Valora. Let me check, man.
4.
Yeah, you keep it down. There's my channel on Valora. Seems fine. Command R. Profile not found? The hell? Huh? Uh-oh. No live streams. Uh-oh. What's going on, folks? Valora, no one's live? Gives a minute. My profile? Uh-oh. Who broke it? Who broke Valora? That's right. Yeah. Who broke Valora? Who broke it? Someone broke it. I'm going to load up Discord and just check. I'm sure there's people talking about this. Somebody broke it. Oh, man, you broke it. This is concerning. I'm going to post it myself. Flosky had to go to kick as well. Okay, it's good that we've got that option. Just getting some screenshots here. And I'm going to go to and post this in where am I going to do this? Site discussion. Uh-oh. Let me just add these screenshots. Gives a profile. Yeah. Did I get nuked? So what happens to my stream then? No one's live. Wow, man, that's Browse live channels. Profile not found. Discover. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The Discord's going to be firing up. That no live streams yet doesn't read well, like no one has ever streamed before. No. That's a problem with the site, dude. It's not, it doesn't mean no one's live. It just means that someone's done something wrong in the back end. Did Cora? Oh, no. Okay. Oh, but the word yet is weird. No live streams yet. It's just concerning. Uh-oh. It is funny. My profile? Oh, no. I'm sure it's temporary. Yeah, of course it is. It's temporary. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. I appreciate... Who alerted me to that? Netskis. I appreciate you letting me know that, man. These are all things that, like I say, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying matter-of-factly, this is new, right? We are new. Valora, well, I'm not Valora. Valora's new, and we're new to Valora. There is going to be rocky roads for a while. You know, this is the thing. It's happening. So whenever there's an issue, it's good to flag it and to note it, but it's also worth noting that these things happen. The flags will happen. People will report it. I've already reported it, and so Elfsar's on the Discord as well. I don't think there's anything else to be done at that point. We just made a note of it, and now we'll just move on and we'll just continue our stream, and we'll see what happens. It may come back. It may still be streaming and this, what we're seeing here could just be like the front end. The rest of it could still be up and running fine, but we just can't access it. So we'll just keep checking every now and then. We'll come back over and we'll have a little lookskins. No one's live right now. I can't even log into my profile. My profile doesn't go anywhere. Profile not found. We go back to... I made a journal post today. It's gone. Browse your trousers. No one's live. So yeah, we'll just leave it for the time being, and we'll come back in a little while, skins.
Changes in blood sugar. It's rare.
Wait. Changes. Hang on.
And people with pancreatic cancer will often have little to no appetite. 4. Changes in blood sugar. It's rare, but some forms of pancreatic cancer can destroy cells that make insulin. This can cause a person to pee a lot and feel hungry and thirsty.
Okay, I pee a lot. That's going to be my in, right? I'm going to say to my doctor, I pee a lot. Is it pancreatic cancer? Probably not. Can we go and eliminate that from the equation? Be better if it said service currently unavailable instead of profile missing. Well, obviously it's broken right now, so I don't think it's been intentionally taken down and that screen is being put up to tell you it's down. I'd say somebody did something wrong and it looks like it's all busted.
In other cases, it can lead to changes in blood sugar that don't trigger any symptoms at all. However, blood tests can detect these changes.
Okay, a blood test.
5. Nausea and vomiting.
No, don't have that.
When cancer tumors block the stomach, food can't get through. This leads to bad nausea and vomiting after meals.
Might be diabetes. That's
6.
a sure sign when you pee a lot.
Enlarged gallbladder or...
I have been peeing a lot since high school, so it's not nothing new. It's just the way I live. Like we've been live for an hour and 42, and I had a coffee, and I've had 2 sips of this glass of water, and I'm busting for a pee. Do a blood sugar test. So I've had my bloods done multiple times recently, and my doctor's like 100% comfortable with all the blood results. But I will do it again, right? We'll obviously do it again, but that's what I'll go in with. I'll say, hey, doctor, I've got, I'm worried about pancreatic cancer. I'm an old prick, and I just want to get this cleared, and I just want to feel like I'm good at everything else. I'm clearing my head's good, everything's good. I want to clear it all out. Hexy, I can't even see my account on Valora. You just come back, man. There is something wrong with Valora right now. It's a shame that you've just come in at this, but yeah, Valora is completely down. It says there's nobody live at all on the platform, and when I go to my channel, gives a minute, check on my channel, my profile not found. So Valora is having a shocker right now, which is a shame because this is the second time now I've brought someone across here. In this case, yourself and Drumzilla, 2 people today to the stream, come across to Valora, and Valora's chucked up a hissy fit, which did happen the other day when we brought over, who was it that came in the same sort of scenario? Can't remember who it was. Prick on the finger is how they test your blood sugar with a test strip. Right. Yeah, so don't worry too much about what you're seeing on Valora right now. It has been flagged in the Discord, and I'm sure people are working on right now. Yeah, I'm sure it's not a permanent thing. Don't worry too much, but it is unfortunate. But you know what? Shit happens.
Liver. Pancreatic cancer can even block the bile duct and cause the gallbladder to get bigger. If it spreads, it can also increase the size of the liver. Healthcare providers might be able to feel these changes during an exam, or they can spot them with imaging tests. You hear this time and time again, but it's important to remember, if you see something, say something.
That's the old that's for terrorists at the train station. If you see something, say something.
Talk to your provider if you start noticing some of the symptoms mentioned. They can examine you and run tests to rule things out. Waiting will only make things worse or lessen the chances for successful treatment or survival.
Okay, so that's that.
Don't ignore the signs.
Don't ignore the
Tell your
signs.
provider-
I'm not ignoring the signs. I'm preempting the signs. Now, I don't know if we're going to watch all of this, but there is a channel here called The Patient Story. My early signs of pancreatic cancer. This is a real world test or a real world scenario of someone getting pancreatic cancer. So this is important.
So my name is Matt Rosenblum. I live in Hazel Park, Michigan with my girlfriend, Natalie, and our pug, Monique. I haven't, because of the nature of my illness, I haven't had a job in like 3 years. But in a former life, I was finishing a PhD. I was going to be an academic. The thing about pancreatic cancer is that, probably the most popular narrative surrounding.
Now, the inner skeptic of me, I feel like this is a script. He just looked down like he was reading a script. This kind of comes across as this could be an actor.
The thing about pancreatic cancer is that, probably the most popular.
Definitely he forgot what he was going to say and he had to look down at the script. I'm sure you're fine, Gibbs. Don't get too worked up. I'm not, by the way, just to put this out there, I'm not stressed about this. I'm not worked up about this. I'm doing this stream so that we can all learn about it, and then I'm being open about what I'm doing about it. But I'm not stressed about it. I'm concerned. Someone that was important to me died because of this, and so I'm trying to just rule it out. And I think that it's probably time, just to go back to the doctor and say, can I just get a full tune-up here, the work over, right? We've done everything else, and now let's do the skin cancer stuff's all done. He said you don't need another skin check for another 12 months or whatever. We'll do another full skin check. He said I'm good with that. Let's do everything else now. But yeah, this kind of feels a little bit dubious, this video. I don't know.
Popular narrative surrounding the disease is that it is not only very lethal, but very difficult.
Exactly, Hexy. Someone left a bag unattended near my pancreas, and I'm saying something because I see something. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening.
Difficult to diagnose, and there are a number of reasons why it's very difficult to diagnose. The pancreas is all the way in the, deep in the body, and the symptoms are very nuanced. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 25. I've, never had an unproblematic stomach. So, gastrointestinal distress, some of the more perceptible symptoms of pancreatic cancer, they were just kind of par for the course for me. I'm not a stranger to eating something, having heartburn or something like that. In general, they're not.
Okay.
I mean, even if I hadn't had Crohn's disease, I probably wouldn't have noticed them. I lost some weight.
I was just about to say he'd look way better with a beard. That looks horrible. Look, this.
Wouldn't have noticed them. I lost some weight.
He looks way better with a beard.
Over the months, but it wasn't until I guess it was late January of 2021 when I really started to experience symptoms that I noticed. And it really is a stark distinction. The earlier symptoms are very nuanced, can go unnoticed, can also go misdiagnosed as a multitude of other things, gallstones, whatever, other kinds of cancer. There's a,
He's just kind of looked at that script again. Look, this is a lengthy video, and I feel like I'm not trying to discredit this gentleman, but we have already assessed and we've learned how this comes about, and there's no tests and this and that. So I don't know if we're going to benefit so much from this. And my skeptic is telling me this is not real. I'm not saying it's not. Okay, so the message behind this video is genuine, and the idea is to increase awareness and to get you to be proactive and to do the right thing. But I'm just saying it might not be a real scenario. And it doesn't have to be, right? Like AI is not real, but yet we use it for everything. So it doesn't have to be real if it triggers a real response. But I'm just saying, I don't think we're going to, from this, 20 minutes worth? 28 minutes. I just don't think we're going to learn anything more than what we haven't already learnt. So what I'm going to do instead, I want to catch up with Toothboy. It's been a hot minute since we've taken a look at ghost town living. In fact, we were busy with this video. I lived in a ghost town for 5 years. It's a 3.5 hour video, and we got 1 hour and 42 into it. I really want to catch up with TB and see what he's been up to in the later half of that video. I think we got up to May 2020. Yeah, it's on the screen there. So this is like a video that goes and looks at all of his 5 years, and we got up to May 2022. I want to check that out, but I also want to go to the bathroom and take a whiz. And while I'm gone, if you can enjoy this surfboarding clip, or you can go and hound Valora in the Discord to see if they're getting things fixed. I'll do the same, but I'll be right back. Approximately 5 minutes of surfboarding. Alrighty. I just went back into the Discord and checked, and no one is saying, well, Elsa made a comment, but no one else is saying anything, and Valora is still nuked. As it stands, I don't know where my stream's going then. I mean, I'm assuming it's still going out to all the other platforms and YouTube, and I wonder what's going to happen with the VOD on Valora, if it's going to be there at all. It's kind of strange. Funky waters we find ourselves in, folks. Funky, strange waters. The water is rough out there. Get your life preservers. Let's move in and catch up with. This is the channel Ghost Town Living. This is the platform. He's amassed 2.3 million subs. He's doing quite well. 126 videos. And we haven't been up to speed with him. Let's go latest video. So where are we? Where are we? Yeah, we're watching this one. We're a long way behind. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got like 15 other videos that we've got to catch up on. But you know what? We're also watching Filthy Travels, Kira and Ryan. So I guess I've been side swindled by their content. But we are going to continue watching, not this, we're going to get rid of that. We are going to continue watching. I lived in a ghost town for 5 years. We're about an hour 42 into a 3 hour, 33-minute video. Let's see TV.
Stairs, bookshelves, chandelier. I don't know how far we'll go, but it's just the history in this town is so important to me. It's what keeps me here. It's what drives me every day
May
to
of 2022.
Explore the abandoned mines or talk to people that have relatives that once lived here or read a bunch of books. So I think first step,
in a book, huh?
a little tour. All right, so the first thing to note about this is that there's actually 2 doors you have to go through to get in. There's the steel door, and behind it, a secondary door that you also have to unlock. And if you look at this wood and how well preserved it is, it makes me think that this environment in here is going to be perfect for preserving these old books for just years to come. You know, you look on the wall and there's documents of 1917, 1911. You know, they brought in 39 boxes of 40% in 1911. It's crazy. You know, all
YouTube
this
is up. Thank you, man.
How many boxes they brought in and the percentage. So 30% nitroglycerin, 40% nitroglycerin, and so on. And so with that, the grand reveal is this. Right now, an open space where there was once a floor they must have taken out, but I hope to kind of clear this out, put beautiful wood on the bottom. I think I'm going to use these 2x12s that they have already started with. And
this is when he made the library, right? Yeah, he put a library down there with comfy chairs, and then he did a mini putt golf thing.
To get them, I'm going to go down into the Union Mine and scavenging any good wood from there. Because I think for a floor, for a basement, it would just be very appropriate if it was, you know, from the mine itself. So I'll try to get some stuff like this. We'll get it together nice. Maybe put a rug underneath this. You can see in the later years, probably in the zinc era, they did run power into here. I don't think that's going to work for us, but I would love to get just a chandelier there. You know, this old time-correct chandelier.
What, how many levels down is he? They ran power all the way down there. That's pretty rad. That means the conduit would still be there.
And then build some bookshelves all around the walls, and the bookshelves also to be built from the mine wood, from the mine itself. I gotta say, as somebody who loves books and loves libraries, I can't think of a cooler library, especially for a mining town, than an old dynamite vault. Now that I got the wood out of the mine, it's time to start cleaning up this place. So I'm gonna get in here, start leveling it out, you know, raking this floor even, so that way we have a relatively straight floor. For now, I'm just gonna get some of this loose rock out of here. All right, getting a little bit smooth, as you can see, cleaning it out a little bit.
And all of this stuff's actually nailed together. So I might just work off of the wood that's already in here. Because if you look at that, dead level. So since these are already in here and level, I think we're gonna work off of those. Still have to clean out a little bit more back there, but you can kind of start seeing it come together now. You know, I think this could be a really special space. So I want to bring in some experts. So we got a guy all the way from the UK, you know, a watcher of this channel that's on his way up. That's gonna help build this thing, which I'm pretty excited about.
A watcher of the channel? Strange words.
All right, so the first step in all this is gonna be taking these and just kind of rough laying them out, almost like a jigsaw puzzle, you know? All right, so this is all of the wood that I got from that first trip laid out. So obviously, this is not enough wood to do all the way to the end that I wanted. So that's gonna mean another trip down into the Union Mine. But even just jigsawing, laying it out like this, it's exciting, you know, to see a floor in here almost brings it to life. I want to keep the original character of this. You know, I try to think about a few things. You know, one, where was the tree this came from? It was probably across to Owens Valley, you know, by Horseshoe Meadows or something. And then the guy who cut it, the miner who put it down as a, you know, support for the mine shaft at the 700 level. Did he ever think that 150 years later, you know, somebody would be taking it back up to make a library, you know, memorializing some of the historic feat that he was part of here at Cerro Gordo. You know, he was part of history, and I can't imagine that that circle of life happened, but I just love reusing wood, and I love looking at the character of it. All of this wood has been touched by history, you know, in a way. It's been touched by the miners here at Cerro Gordo. And so just get rid of some of this fur so it's not scratching everybody up, and then seal it. When all is said and done, this is gonna be a library to remember. All right, so we're sanding them down, making them look pretty. Next step after that, we got some varnish over here. We're gonna take this in here, seal it, so that way the boards look real good. But this is that wood from the mine, already looking so beautiful. And so with a little bit of this on top, we'll be looking good. So that's the next move. These will become our shelves for the old library. It's exciting, you know? A lot of steps, but it's gonna be sweet when it's done. As I'm putting on this varnish, look how cool this is. Like this, it's going to have so much more red than this piece. So you can tell they're using different species, and even the cut lines. See the cut lines there are circular, and over here they're straight. It's so rewarding just to put that stuff on and see this stuff come to life. It's beautiful. Look at all these different colors. There's like the lighter one, darker, a little darker. You know, this one with the kind of black almost in it, then almost that. It's beautiful. And they're all unique.
So, floor's all down now, and all fixed in, secure. So we're going to get going with the lacquer, give it a nice satin gloss finish. Give it a nice deep colour and get it ready for the library.
Hell yeah.
After the floor was down, the next step was shelves. You know, what is a library without bookshelves? And so when we were thinking through the bookshelves, Phil, Dylan, and Lawrence took this hike, and they just went above the hoist house a little bit and found these beautiful pipes, you know, that must have been, who knows, from 100 years ago, but they were just these thick, sturdy pipes.
Did he say sick? They were these thick.
From 100 years ago, but they were just these thick, sturdy pipes.
He was about to say that this is sick.
It was from 100 years ago, but they were just these thick, sturdy pipes that they decided were going to be perfect for kind of the uprights for the shelves. And I have to give full credit where credit is due. I was not that creative. I was thinking maybe we'd find some old wood. But what we ended up doing is just drilling these circular holes
in the middle of these 2x12s, and then using these old bolts that we found on the property as a support. And these shelves went up, and I was blown away. A few days ago, this was just an empty room of nothing, and now it's a library.
Library.
I don't think this library.
Officially.
I don't think this thing's going anywhere for a very, very long time.
No.
Look at this. Still want to put a rug down, put some more books in there, but this is looking like a library back.
That is pretty cool. That looks pretty rad. Now, all the dust and rocks and crap will all fall down and that'll all get dirty, but, you know, as long as you're ready to clean it every now and then.
Back in an old powder magazine. That is freaking awesome.
That is cool, yeah. True. Netsky over on Pilled.
Going into my second year at Cerro Gordo, things were going amazing, at least on the outside, you know. Millions of people were following along with the progress. People cared about this town in a way that I could have never imagined. The hotel was finally off the ground. But inside, the reality was I was close to rock bottom. I was severely depressed, anxious all the time, sometimes incapable of even doing daily tasks to the point where...
It's funny, he never indicated any of this in real time, because don't forget this is a reflection video. During the time that he's talking about, he never led on to that, which is quite well disguised.
Eventually I was prescribed Klonopin, which is a benzodiazepine, which causes all sorts of other issues. But I got there for a bunch of reasons. You know, it had been 2 years of 14-hour days where I was pushing forward every day as hard as I could. I had lost 30 pounds. I was sore and tired all the time. And I had this intense pressure upon myself to continue making videos.
Could be pancreatic cancer, sore and tired and you'd lost weight. Just saying.
Every week, you know, I just felt like that was the key to this town's future. And in those, I didn't feel fully comfortable talking about anything that wasn't the brightest points of my day. I just think that that's not why people were watching videos. And so I eventually felt like I was playing a character of myself in the videos, which is a very strange feeling to feel, where you don't know if you're imitating the person that you were in front of the camera or if you're really who that is behind that, to the point where it was very confusing. And at the same time, my buddy who had chipped in a little bit of money to help me buy Cerro Gordo because I didn't have enough money.
Now that's interesting. He had never indicated that there was anybody else that financially contributed to buying it. In fact, when this channel began, it was him alone. And he was saying that he bought a ghost town. He went all in. He's the only one there. It was called Alone, or the channel's always been Ghost Town Living, but the beginning of the video would start with Alone in my ghost town. Now he's saying during that time there was not only other people there, but there was a financial backer, his buddy. We always knew that, but he always tried to present it the other way, which we thought was weird. Like, why not just tell us exactly what it was instead of, do you know why? It sells better. The concept of him putting his entire life savings into a ghost town and then living there by himself, that is compelling. The actual fact is he went in with the business partner. By the sounds of it, at least one. We've always speculated probably more than one, right? Maybe a small group of people that all went in. They're silent business partners. He does the YouTube thing. That's his marketing. That's how he markets and brings in revenue, by promoting this on YouTube as Alone in a Ghost Town. That's what I've always speculated.
Had moved, and he was no longer interested in the project.
So what happened?
Very confusing. And at the same time, my buddy who had chipped in a little bit of money to help me buy Cerro Gordo because I didn't have enough money, had moved, and he was no longer interested in the project. And so I had the pressure to...
So there you go. So his buddy had chipped in. Now he'd moved. So he was there with him. We always knew that, but man, why did he lie? Why are you fucking lying?
Had moved, and he was no longer interested in the project. And so I had the pressure to
buy him out?
Find the funds to buy him out.
Yep.
and I had gotten into...
So while you're here, TB, why not tell us everyone? How many other buyers were there? How many others went in? Like, just lay it all out, man.
Find the funds to buy him out. And I had gotten into a disagreement with an international mining company that wanted to do some mining around Cerro Gordo. And that was mostly successful. But as part of that, a member of their team decided to work with a journalist to try to put together a hit piece about my past and anything they could dig up from anybody. So they were contacting everybody they could find from my entire past. And I felt like I had brought all this upon myself by putting myself out there, making videos. And
Wait. There's a lot to unpack there. So he had a disagreement with another mining company that wanted to mine the area surrounding Cerro Gordo. So on his property or just adjacent to the property. And the disagreement was, I guess, him saying, no, I'm not going to let you do that. And so then they went to the media and tried to dig up his past and paint a bad picture of him. So what I'm seeing, this is the unraveling, right? Like the story is going to come out eventually. And mark my words, the story will be that he burnt that, in my opinion, I better be careful here. In my opinion, without any facts and coming to this conclusion just by my own diagnosis, there's more to the story of the American Hotel than what we were told. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like it's coming out slowly, right?
The walls were closing in around me, and being by myself up here, it's even harder to deal with these things. And on the worst days, it was just, I didn't want to do any of this anymore. And my friends and family that interact with me, on a daily basis, they were concerned, rightfully so. And my only thought was to keep pushing forward. I thought that the solution to most of this was for Cerro Gordo to continue on. And so we kept pushing, and we did some really big projects in the meantime.
Interesting.
Despite any of my mental woes, I was still trying to see
It's 2:15 a.m. here. Time for me to hit the bed. Night all. Hey, thanks, Hellbent. Thanks, man. Have a good sleep.
in the town. Put one foot in front of the other, because sometimes the best way out is through, and accomplishing things, especially big things, helped me forget about any of the behind the scenes drama for a little bit. And if something big is getting accomplished, that often means that Dave Sparks is around. And that is exactly the case when it came to bringing a 40,000 gallon water tank up our road. All right, so first, why do we need 40,000 gallons of water in an abandoned mining town? That is a very good question. And the answer is, right now we have no reliable water source here. And two, we are trying to build a hotel up to modern code. You know, just to my left here is what formerly was the American Hotel that we sadly lost to a fire in 2020. And pretty much every day since, I've been dedicated to getting this hotel rebuilt. And it probably is the project that means more to me than anything in the world. The plans called for a fire sprinkler system. And this fire sprinkler system has to be able to run for 60 minutes straight without running out of water. And across 3 floors, basement, first floor, and second floor, that all adds up to about 36,000 gallons of water. The only water that we have right now is 700 feet down a mine shaft and replenishes at about 15 gallons per hour. So obviously that wasn't gonna work. So I started looking at tanks. And it turns out that a 40,000 gallon tank is very hard to come by. So after a lot of searching around, a lot of logistics, I finally came upon one in Fresno, California. And there's a guy named Pat there, and we figured it out. You know, we found the right tank, the right size, actually overcapacity for what I needed. But then the tank's still in Fresno. And then the logistics really start. You know, this thing, again, is 47 feet long and 12 feet around. You know, it's so big that even to move it from Fresno, you need special permits to bring it on the road. And even if you can bring it on the road and get it to the bottom of a mountain, you still have a 7-mile dirt road that increases 1 mile in elevation on the way up. Luckily, I do have some friends that are pretty amazing at insane logistics. The Diesel brothers, you know, Heavy D and Diesel Dave, have been up here before. Just about a year ago, no concrete company wanted to come up that road. And so we mixed 80 yards of cement here on site. It was probably one of my favorite days I've ever had at Cerro Gordo. And so now I'm very fortunate that the days are coming back and it's all happening tomorrow. And in less than 24 hours, there is going to be a lot of digging and a lot of movement going around this abandoned ghost town.
This is quite the apparatus that we've had to build. To be able to move this tank,
that's
a
epic.
challenge. The tank is huge. The tank is literally almost twice the size of this truck. It's 11 feet in diameter, 47 feet long, weighs 25,000 pounds roughly. And we're gonna just stack it right on top of the Emmett here. And it's gonna be a wild ride getting up that canyon road. It's the only way I can think of to do it. There's no trailer, no way that it's gonna get up there. We literally had to have something sit right underneath the middle of it that is very maneuverable. And even then, it's gonna be tricky. Nice thing is the tank is gonna be sitting really high.
You forget just how logistically difficult it is to move machinery and items like that. Like if you've ever driven on like an outback highway and you've come across a wind farm and they're moving the turbine, holy shit, dude. Like you see them in the distance and you're like, oh yeah, it's a wind turbine. When you drive past one, they're epic. These are huge. This thing is longer than the whole of the semi-trailer. Big. You think about going around corners and stuff. Like there are certain, I understand there are certain geometrical equations where a vehicle of that length cannot go around that corner. So you have to like plot the course out and get the dimensions of the bend before you even approach it, because you're not going to back out, right? Like you can't, once you get there, you're either going through it or you're not reversing that. You're not doing a 3-point turn. Big job.
So it'll clear all the low obstacles, which that road has a lot of low kind of carved out spots that are hard to get around. The higher you go, the more clearance we get. So because the tail swing, because the tank's still going to be sticking out like back here. And then the same like 5 or 10 feet over the front. So it's just going to be kind of like doing this up the canyon road. But Iram and Pedro are my guys. They stayed last night until 1 or 2 a.m. and just got this thing done. I just told them what we needed, and I said it doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to look nice, just freaking, we were going to use timbers to just stack it. But Iram doesn't know how to do anything not pretty or not nice, so his welds are perfect, everything's beautiful, even though we used some scrap steel for it.
That's something I could never do. Welding steel. Welding steel. I'm 50. I'm never going to be welding steel. I'm never doing it. I'm going to escape that my whole life.
Dude, we're rolling, man. This thing's a beast. All right, guys. So after a long day, well, a long couple days of prep, especially building brackets and stuff for the Hemet to be able to haul the water tank, we're getting ready to hit the road. We were supposed to be on the road by about 4 today. It's now close to like 7:38, so we're doing a little bit of a late start. It's okay though, because we were leaving early anyways to give us a buffer to get there. Now our buffer is just a little bit smaller, so we're going to be able to get a little less sleep tonight, if any at all. And the plan is to roll into Cerro Gordo tomorrow morning, right around 9 or 10 o'clock. Harmon with H&S Transport is going to meet us there with the tank and excavator. Stepped up big time again, my man. He's been chomping at the bit ever since last year. He's like, hey, when are you guys going? When are you guys going? When can I help? So I called him up, said we got this project to do. So him and a couple of his guys are coming down tomorrow. We're going to meet them, probably roll into Cerro Gordo. They'll be there by like 2 or 3. Unload the tank, unload the excavator, stack the tank on top of the Hemet, and then work our way up to Cerro Gordo.
Massive task.
One hell of a haul, guys. Probably one of the craziest hauls we've ever done, to be honest with you, because we're going to be like 25 feet tall by the time we have the water tank on top of it.
It should also be noted the tank may need repairing, right? Like, is the tank, it's going to be a water tank, so you want to make certain it's watertight and sealed.
The Hemet, it's going to be nuts.
All right, so you can see we got the military truck here to the staging area. Harmon is coming within the next 30 minutes with the actual tank itself, and at which point we're going to try to bring the tank up on the semi as far as we can. This is pretty much as far as we think we can get. We're probably a mile up the road right now. But if you look at this thing, this has all been fabricated by Dave back in Utah specifically to carry the tank. It's already about 5 o'clock right now. So we have our work cut out for us to get this done by nighttime. Harmon showed up, you know, we could see his truck coming from just literally miles away. It was this massive, like missile looking thing coming our way. I, of course, had to jump on top of the tank, you know, take a couple photos, really get into the spirit. I was feeling really good. I have to say, the sight of that tank showing up was just super exciting for me. You know, when you think about the puzzle that is Cerro Gordo and the puzzle that is the American Hotel, there's pieces small and large. And I think that the water tank here was definitely a large puzzle piece. You know, that was one that where if you get that to snap into place, you feel pretty good about yourself on the whole puzzle that you're doing.
Chain up there. We're gonna want to go shackle to tank. Oh, you want to go shackle? Yeah, because I don't want any slack in it. We don't have that much room to lift.
And so once we got finally to the staging area, you know, the tank was there, the loader was there, the excavator was there.
What was there? The excavator
staging area, you know, the tank was there, the loader was there, the excavator was there.
Oh man, he always stumbles his words.
To the staging area, you know, the tank was there, the loader was there, the excavator was there, the military truck was there with
that one's not worth clipping because there's the music behind it, but that's funny to hear.
There, the loader was there, the excavator was there,
the excavator,
military truck was there with the pipes on top of it. It was just a function of, okay, now what? And luckily this tank had 2 huge hooks on either side of it, and so basically the plan was to take the loader bucket, hook it to one end, take the excavator arm, hook it to the other end, lift the thing up, you know, kind of like 2 dual cranes at the same time, get the flatbed that it came on out of the way, back the military truck back up to where it was, and then just slowly lower it down onto it.
Wow. Looks like something to do with the space launch, doesn't it? Like a Falcon Heavy or something.
Oh man, that's sitting exactly how I envisioned it.
Diesel Dave and I jumped on the top of the tank. You know, we got the straps down after we loaded it.
That reminds me of me loading Marty's swag on top of GoVan every day. Not quite.
And then came the fun part. You know, then this tank was secured and we had to get it up the hill. And I remember before we started taking it up, we were making bets. And Scotty here was like, I think it's gonna take 2 hours to go through the narrows, kind of the twisty turny part of the road here. Because he thought we were gonna have to go, pick up the end of it, move it around, this and that. I said 2 minutes. You know, I have a lot of confidence in Dave and his crew. They just know how to get stuff done. And it was funny because when it came time to drive it up, I was in my truck ahead of everybody. And I remember kind of going slow and then looking in my rear view It went way smoother than I thought it was going to be. You know, this thing was just going around these turns, handling it with care. It was probably the most ridiculous piece of machinery. No, it definitely was the most ridiculous piece of machinery that's ever been brought up the Yellow Grade Road here. I mean, when else would have they ever brought something that big? When else has this town ever had that much capacity to store water ever? You know, it's just such a huge piece of this town. And to see it just twisting and turning through the narrows, past the narrows, over and up all the bumps, and just
And this is when shit goes down, you'd be like, okay, well, that's why it fell off, because you guys were up there acting the fools. Walk us through how you broke your leg again. Well, you see, we had this 30,000 litre tank that we were taking up this epic canyon road, and it seemed to be going really well, so we decided to jump up on top of it. By the way, what are all these divots on it? See where my mouse is, where the straps are holding it down? There's all these divots along there, and they've taken one of the straps off. So even after the... Wait, were they like that? Where are we at? 205. Let's go back to the... See if we get a better shot of it. Oh no, there's divots on that side. $205. Doesn't matter. Thought they had 3 straps on. Yeah, there's 3 straps there. 1, 2, 3. And then you see this shot where there's a strap missing and they're surfing on it. Uh-oh. Okay, we've heard all this.
just going around these turns. It was the most ridiculous. Brought something that big. When else to this town, and to see it just twisting and turning through with ease was awesome.
Yeah, those straps are pulling. Those straps are pulling in on it. The straps are damaging it, or is it just damaging the outside of it? I mean, the whole thing's pretty damaged, but the straps are doing. The straps are ruining it. For sure. And that's the only thing holding it on there, right? These 3 straps, and there's ones at the front as well. I'd be going a bit slower than that.
Also,
yeah, that's another thing, Netskis. There's no way I'd ride behind that. These guys in that little ATV right on the tail of it. That there, dude, like, holy shit, man. If that does fuck up and fall off, you're squashed, man. And there's no one even filming it. Like, I feel like if they were just doing that to get the shot, that's plausible and excusable. But these dudes aren't even filming. They're just driving. There's no way I'd be doing that, man. No. Not a chance. Especially when you've got drones. Like, fly the drone in... If you want to get the shot from underneath it, driving behind it, fly the drone. If it falls off and it squashes the drone, big whoop, you can get a new drone. If you're the one driving behind it and it falls off and squashes you, you're dead.
Also, the ease of which it was handling the road gave Diesel Dave and I an idea.
See, look, these straps are definitely pulling in on it, right? They're cutting in on it. It's like wearing a belt that's too tight. And they've taken one of them off. There were 3 before. Even after taking one strap off, they thought it was cool to get up on. See, this all plays out fine, by the way. There's no problem. But I'm just saying, if there was a problem, you could look back at the archive and say, well, you took a strap off as well. What was the deal there?
Back to kind of some of my most fun, specific moments over my last 2.5 years here. That's in the top 5, top 3 easily, is just standing on the top of this tank, you know, just arms of the wind, full Titanic mode at some points, where just going like this off the bow of this massive tank that's on top of a massive military truck. And I remember just like the success of how the trip was going, you know, how easy it was going, and Dave up there just being so excited, just got me excited, and it was just the most epic way that I could have ever imagined to bring this tank into town. You know, the tank, when it was on the military truck, probably sat 20 feet tall, so it was really difficult to get it anywhere. And the location of this tank needed to be at least 10 feet above where the pump was gonna be, but it needed to be accessible. You know, I wanted it close to town so we could access it for a variety of different reasons, for filling reasons, for this and that. You know, no matter what, it was gonna require a pump. And so I didn't want to trench in, you know, all the way up from the hoist. We might do that for a future water tank, maybe the potable water. So that meant there's this area just below the Gordon house. So just below one of the main houses here, there was a flat spot that was above the hotel by at least 20, 25 feet. So it's sitting definitely high enough, you know, to get the PSI to get down to the pump for the sprinkler system and all that.
It is pretty cool that he owns the town, so he doesn't have to like go and apply for a permit to dig a hole and put a tank. He can just go, I'll put that tank over there. That area is already high enough, or just put it there. You know, like in the suburbs, if you wanted to put a tank in the ground, or if you wanted to build a fence or change the road angle, you got to go and get permits and all these approvals and all the DA and all the council, all that crap. He just goes, yeah, I'll just chuck it there. That's pretty cool.
If you look down there, you see the massive tank, you see the massive military truck, and you see where we're trying to put it. And there's no real road between here and there. So really the first part of today is gonna be cutting in a whole new road just to put this tank in. You know, we're gonna probably cut a road straight up here to be able to put this and position it here. All of this dirt's gonna get moved around when we backfill the hotel anyways. I'm excited to get this thing in place. It's gonna be a huge step for the hotel. You know, to try to get 40,000 gallons of water here is very difficult, but today's the day.
Look at that power line too. Shit.
So Dave jumped into the excavator, and anybody that knows how to make quick work of dirt, it is Dave Sparks. And probably just past lunchtime, we had the whole duct. You know, this hole ended up being something about, 55 feet long and maybe 14 feet deep.
Big boys' toys. Something I'm not familiar with.
And then came the really interesting part. You know, the hole was sitting...
Then came the what? Interesting part.
And then came the really interesting part. You know...
The interesting part.
And then came the really interesting part. You know, the hole was sitting kind of like this.
Fill the hole.
And the road that we had cut in was like this. And so you have to figure, this military truck had this long tank on it like this. And so how were we gonna get the military truck up our road with the tank this way, unload it, and then swing it down into this hole?
Use the hole.
It just wasn't gonna happen.
I'm gonna build a ramp down by the rebar, and then this pile of stuff right here, I'm just gonna move to the side and cut low so that we can back the tank straight towards it, and then unload it there, and then be able to pull the truck out, and we'll have the tank sitting on just basically a flat ramp that we can pull it up and position it.
Fill the hole. Use the hole, or bridge the hole.
So what we ended up having to do is off the end of the trench that we had made for the tank itself, we ended up cutting in another road. That way we could take the tank around this way, back the army truck up, back it into the hole that we created, at which point in time the excavator could take one end, the loader could take the other end again. We would lift up this tank, and then we would slowly lower it down into its final resting place.
it just felt really real. It almost felt surreal how quickly this thing was going. And I remember in these moments, sometimes I just get lost in the history mentality. I started thinking, when is the next time this tank is ever going to move? I don't think it ever will. When's the next time this tank will even be seen? When will it be used? Hopefully never be used, because this is only water for the sprinklers. And so we're burying this massive, huge thing that'll just sit there unseen, unsettled for who knows how many.
You want to make certain that there's no holes in it, right? Like all this work, and then imagine they fill it up and it's leaking. I mean, sure, he's checked that, right? He's covered that base, surely.
Years, and who knows, a couple hundred years in the future, they're like, what is this massive thing that is just placed here? Who knows? Maybe they're making They're like, what is this massive thing that is just placed here? Who knows? Maybe they're making a swimming pool in the future. I'd be okay with that.
It's actually been incredibly smooth. Usually big jobs like this, you have some disaster after another. This time, everything's gone just oddly smooth. So I'm kind of waiting for something to drop, but so far, we just got to lift it up a few inches off the truck, slide the truck out, set her on the pedestals, and it should be gold.
Seems pretty logical the way they're doing it. Logic, yeah. Logistically logical.
Chain over here. Do you want another chain? I thought Hans was dragging it up right there. And he looks like it's loaded. You're going down. Slowly going down. You went down about that far.
Oh, hell no. Are you seriously standing underneath that? Hell no. Not a chance I'd be doing that. I wonder if you can get inside that tank if it's got a big enough hole. Like if there are repairs to be made, can you get inside and like weld it from the inside? Doesn't appear to be like a manhole at the top or anything.
We got it down in the hole perfectly. We re-leveled everything to make sure it was sitting right. And it's done, and now it sits there.
This is the aquarium, right?
This is huge for town.
It is huge. And we could have gone smaller, maybe 4 like 10,000 gallon tanks or something, but all the way in. I like the one and done approach. No, as soon as you're involved, it's like, nope. Yeah, I was like, Brent, find the biggest tank you can find. And honestly, it worked out great.
I like this guy. Heavy D Sparks. I like his integration in this channel.
Logistically, that was
way smoother than I thought.
super challenging, but ended up being super easy. Grateful for the opportunity to be back up in your beautiful town. And I'll tell you what, man, the weather's been amazing. It's great. Dude, it has treated us very nicely.
I'm still waiting for something to drop still, because everything's like...
Something will break on the way down the canyon.
Harrowing tales from Death Valley National Park in California.
More than 6 months worth of rain falling in just hours.
He's jumping forward now to August 2022, which is where we're going to say ta-ta for the time being. I will grab a screenshot of this so that we know from whence we will come back to take our continuation there. I'm going to wrap up my stream here. Before I do, though, I'm going to check with the Valoran skins. Are we back up? Can we raid someone? Can we host someone? Is Valora back up on the machine? Doesn't look like it, folks. Let's Command R and refresh our trousers. Profile not found. Go to the Valora main page. No, it's the same. Browse live channels. Nothing's live. No live streams yet. And my channel profile, profile not found. I'll just confirm that in the Discord, see if anyone's made any notes. It's just me and Elfsar. No one's alerted it. That's interesting, dude. It's been a few. I made note of this in the Discord at 4:38. It's now 5:42 and no one's commented on it. And I also made a note of it elsewhere, and this is a showstopper and no one's done anything about it. That's a shame. Is everybody asleep in Valora land? I put up a notice. Wow, this is a critical issue and no one's really doing anything. Oh well, all we can do is play along as it is, as it was. We cannot host anybody, we cannot rate anybody, so all I can do is say ta-ta. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little while today. What did we stream for? 2 hours 40. That's a good stream. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be not live tomorrow, probably the day after. No, I don't know when I'll be live. I'm working, and so I'll see you when I'm not. Cheers. The live was the play. This is an old school outro without a raid. I do wonder what happens with the VOD on Valora because of this hoo-ha. We'll see. Seems strange, no tech support. There is tech support, just no one's made any attempt to mention this or fix it. Ah, well. Says what it is. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill. That's where I ignite.